But I think we're going to see a major shift with some of the major retailers in the sense that the punitive chargebacks and the compliance charges and so on and so forth are going to force some retailers, some distributors and manufacturers to rethink their whole approach to retail.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, if you think like 25 years ago, it was I send a pallet of stuff to Home Depot or Bed Bath & Beyond or wherever, and they put it in their stores and they sell it. And I work with, a merchandiser to bring those products in. And what those big brands realized was, wait a second, we need e-commerce. They started standing up sites, and then they go, well, we'll just ask our vendors to drop ship all of our products. Now there's advantages to the manufacturer for that. The manufacturers can get all of their products on their websites and they get more coverage, as long as they can provide. So there's one benefit there. But you're right, it does experience a challenge when that retailer, let's say Kohl's, for example, says, hey, look, we're only going to stock one SKU now and you can drop ship the rest. Your whole business model has been upended. ShipStation experienced this in a very real way, because if you're doing, distribution and you're doing drop ship and you're doing some form of commerce or D2C, how do you manage all of that? Yeah. And how do you manage that, especially if you're doing what's called a blind drop ship, where, you don't even, the retailer doesn't even want the end customer to know you're involved in any way. Now you have to manage the branding around it. So we built out a lot of functionality, and we work with a lot of drop shippers on sort of abiding by that complexity, third-party billing, the ability to match branding, and then just to manage all this chaos in the same way that they're managing multiple brands, or they may be managing things on their e-commerce multi-channels, selling channels. You bring up a good point about the shift, though, because that shift has happened, and I actually saw it firsthand in B2C and B2B in my manufacturing background. Is 10 years ago, 15 years ago, Fender was not selling directly online. Exactly. Now you can go to their website and go and buy a product unheard of for a company that was that old, to be able to make that shift. And that shift happened primarily for the reason that you're outlining is, hey, we're already doing all the work. We're basically drop shipping to consumer on behalf of XYZ retailer. Why are we not just doing this directly through our website? And I think more brands are sort of waking up to that realization that it has to be both. It can't just be pure B2B. It can't just be physical locations. It can't just be commerce. The retailers and the brands that are going to win in the future are going to blend those together to something that's basically akin to commerce versus just being like these different channels.